Hey everybody, thanks for being here. This week we're just below Bonneville Dam on the Columbia River trolling for fall run Chinook salmon. Now, if you want to learn how to catch more fish, stay tuned. I'm Justin Wolf and this is Angler West Television.
So we're here today below Bonneville Dam, and we are going to chase some fall kings, and we're going to run some spin fish here. The dam has 10 to 15,000 fish a day going over it. Bite should be pretty good, and we're going to talk about how these things work, how they pull apart, and then we're going to stuff bait inside of them, and we're going to drag them around behind a 360 flasher and catch some fall kings. Yeah, and a few spinners. This is a Mulkey blade, 3.5 Mulkey Cascade blade, and then the other spinner we're going to run is the 3.5 Hildebrandt spinner. So we'll have 2 spinners out and 3 spin fish.
So you just heard Shane talk about how we're running a Hildebrandt spinner, a Mulkey spinner, and 3 spin fish. Well, a lot of times, depending on the fish in the day and what fish are going through, they'll bite different things at different times, and so it's kind of a good way to put out and search and let you know what the fish want, right? As Buzz always says, the fish will tell you what they want. So that's exactly what Shane's doing. He's putting out enough gear and a good spread of things he has confidence in, and let the fish tell us what we want. So that way, if we get a couple spinner bites right in a row or a couple spin fish bites right in a row, maybe that's what we want to switch to, and target those fish that way. It's always best to put out baits you have confidence in, and Shane has confidence in these 3 spin fish, these 2 spinners. I have confidence in Shane, so I bet we're going to catch a fish here real quick.
We are in 27 to 30 foot of water, and most of these fish are really hugging the bottom, so we're trying to target that bottom 5 feet right just off the bottom in these fish's face.
Are these all 16, Shane?
We got 16 ounce on the front, 12 ounce on these corners, and we're going to run a 10 ounce out the back.
And you just do that to keep all your stuff staggered so it doesn't get snagged?
Correct, yeah. Get it all nice and separated and staggered. And
now, even
Maggie,
with all those leads, do you try to target like the same depths? You know what I mean? You just got different leads to push them farther back, so you're going shorter on the bow rods, a little longer on your mid rod, and then further out the back, but still targeting that same depth?
Yes. So what we want to do is we want to target that bottom 5 feet. These fish are hugging the bottom fairly close here, and by running the different leads and being able to put them out different lengths, we can get all 5 rods in that strike zone in that bottom 5 feet of water.
Maggie says her favorite number is 33. Maggie says her favorite number is 33. So Shane switched the line counter to 33. So I would watch Maggie's rod. She looks like she's a pretty lucky gal.
Hard on him.
Tight, real hard, real hard.
He's not going to figure out he's hooked for a little bit.
All right.
"33 feet. I said Maggie's going to hook the first fish at 33 feet.
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Oh
one.
gosh.
It's fine. We're going to take it right here off the side of the boat.
You are where?
Yep, right there. You're doing
Okay,
good.
okay.
Yep. We're going to get reel all the way down to that lead, and I'm going to get into here next to this. Ooh.
How big is he? I can't tell.
He's big, he's big.
Oh.
Try not to back up.
Go over by the rail, Maggie.
Okay.
That way we don't lose them under the boat.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Reel all the way down to that lead. Perfect. Lift. Come on up.
Oh.
Oh, he's about ready. That's my favorite green spinfish. All right. There he is.
There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
First one in the boat.
Okay.
Nice job, Maggie. Good job, Maggie.
All right.
All right.
And there's one.
Okay.
There we go.
Not super big, but
It's not
it's
your
edible.
40. It's not your 40
I know.
pounder.
I know. It's okay. Cool.
But still a nice fish.
It's gonna be very tasty.
Yeah, right there. Nice fish.
Welcome back to the Columbia River. I'm Justin Wolf. The early morning gray light is darker than usual due to smoke from the region's large wildfires. We're just below Bonneville Dam, which is hidden from view by the thick smoke. We're with guide Shane Magnuson, Buzz Ramsey, his wife Maggie, and Jared and Hunter Higginbotham. And it's Maggie with the first hookup with the fall Chinook.
So here below Bonneville, we can do what's called party fishing. So we'll be able to put all the rods back out until the boat's limited. Maggie can't catch another fish today, but we can still run her rod.
So, like Shane was showing us, the spin fish got it, and so we're just going to restuff that with bait, push it together. Both halves are on your line, so you can't lose them unless you break your leader. But yeah, we'll just stuff it with bait, put it out there. It spins. We got a double hook rig. Of course, barbless hooks here on the Columbia. So this is the new spinfish lure. This is silver chartreuse side scale. There are several chartreuse versions. Generally earlier, when the light's low or overcast, is when chartreuse, it's always good, but that's when it is especially good.
Color-wise, we're starting with a lot of chartreuse. We do have some pinks. Chartreuse and pink really shows up in the low light and the darker conditions like we have today. We get that sun poking through later in the day, we'll switch to some more reds. We'll switch to more coppers, stuff that in the highlight conditions aren't as intense on the fish. We'll pull that apart, we'll get it restuffed, and we'll head back to the top. Just like so.
So you can see we check our spin fish, and Maggie just caught that fish on her spin fishing. So I opened mine up, and you can see where the bait's kind of worked its way out of here. I got a little bit left back in there, and you actually kind of see it's watered down a bit. So we're gonna give this back to Shane. He's gonna repack it for us, resend it. We're gonna deploy it, put another fish in the boat. Oh, they're not in the fish.
Maggie pretty much always catches the fish,
You've
the
always
first
told
and
me
the
that.
most. You know, in fact, for a long time, it was like, who's that guy with Maggie?
Right. Who's the guy in the cowboy hat with Maggie?
Yeah.
She's fishing.
So in the fall time down here, we can actually keep hatchery or wild. So that's no problem there. We do release the tulies typically, but on the upriver brights, we're allowed to keep either.
And the reason for that is, the reason we can keep both hatchery or wild Chinook is because the bulk of the run, particularly the upriver brights, are wild fish. So they're real numerous. You know, they only have 4 dams to go up, and that section up there at the Hanford Reach really puts out the fish.
Rods in.
Here you go, buddy.
Go ahead, Jared.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You get it.
I always get those fish on those turns every time. So Shane's rod right in the back there, and Hildebrandt spinner. Like I said, we like to try to switch them up, you know, and get a little bit of different things out there. And so far, we've got a bite on a spin fish and one on a Hildebrandt. And on those turns, you really got to watch your rods, because all your baits change what they're doing. You know what I mean? They change their speed, their level in the water column, and that's a lot of times when you get bit, especially if a fish is following you.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Yeah, give me a little.
Oh, did he give you the slip?
He did.
Oh no.
Gave you the slip.
Wah, wah, wah. That's okay. It happens. There's a fish on camera. Not the first time.
You got to fish barbless hooks here,
Yeah.
so that barb hook, if that fish gets any slack in the line from a head shake or whatever, that hook will just fall right out. So Jared didn't do anything wrong. It happens. It's part of the deal.
Yep, there you go. Move up and grab your feet on her. You on her? Yep. You decide if you want to spin it.
Kind of funny, that fish went and whapped Maggie's rod and left it alone, and then my rod buried right behind it. So that fish was wanting to bite for sure. This is on a feeder spin fish.
Whoa, I almost got you again, Jared. Yeah, let me have that way.
Here, lesson mine out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Looks like a nice one. Here,
He's still mad.
Not happy with you.
Maggie, when you on the line counter when it says 6 feet, if you just pick it up, it will come straight to you.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh,
The diving catch.
Always important to let out line and grab this lead ball immediately when someone gets in the fish, because you see where Maggie's standing behind me too. You don't want that ball to swing in and hit somebody. So let out line, grab the ball real quick.
Yeah.
Gonna swing that fish right in the boat.
Perfect. Oh.
Yeah. We need to find ourselves a big adult, don't we? These size of fish, though, are a good sign for the future.
Yeah, yummy.
Only about 10% of a given year class is 3-year-olds. What that is for fall Chinook, that's what they call a 3-year-old. They're 8, 9, 10 pounds, maybe 11, but only 10% of the year class is that. So seeing a lot of those small fish means we're gonna have maybe a bigger run next year.
We're on the Columbia River just below Bonneville Dam, fishing spinfish stuffed with bait and spinners. So far, it's the spinfish getting both of our fish to the net.
So we've got 2 on the spin fish, and we had 1 hook up on the spinner, which I lost on camera, which I'm sure you'll see. But you know, the funny thing about that one was we watched Maggie's rod, and it drove by and kind of gave Maggie a drive-by, and obviously my rod's just a few feet in front of hers, and then just crushed it. So obviously this fish wanted to bite, and obviously he wanted to spin fish. There's a bit 2 of them before I got 1. Now I got it.
On these spinners, you can tie them directly on the leader, or you can tie the spinner on. But what I found with these spinners is running a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader gives them a little more snap behind that flasher, which tends to bring a lot more bites. So I tie my leaders on 30-pound fluorocarbon and put the Hildebrandt blades and hoochies on there. And I'm tying this one on a leader directly, but you also can just tie the whole spinner on without clipping it off the wire. So whatever.
Okay.
So reel those in and hand that one to Buzz.
Oh, yay. That's the best part.
I'll take that, bud.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, it feels big.
He's big, he's big. He's big. Maggie hooked my fish for me, yay.
Somebody had to do it.
Who's that guy with Maggie?
Hopefully it's a big one.
Shane, did he come on?
Nope, he's still
Oh.
He's there. Shane, want the net?
Right.
That's a little better fish. He hooked you a bigger fish. That's nice of her.
Yeah.
No,
Maggie's sweet.
A 20, maybe 80 pounder.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Not that big.
That one has a little more snort
Yeah.
A little bit bigger.
Get him, buddy, get him.
Yeah.
The great one in action.
to it.
Nice.
Nice
I
fish.
think he's bigger than mine.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
He's a fighter. Doesn't want to come to the boat.
Maggie,
Whoa.
your rod's hot.
I know.
33 feet, Maggie's
33.
very
Close, Shane.
33.
Buzz said get ready to net it, so I'm gonna get ready to net it.
Doesn't want to come up, but he's gonna.
That's a real salmon.
Oh.
I saw one of those once. It was on an article Buzz Ramsey wrote.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Attaboy, little
You
fella.
seen it yet?
He saw the cowboy hat and he's like, I know that guy.
Oh. Shoot. Nice.
It was nice of you to hook him a
I
big
know. Oh, shoot. That is big.
fish. Almost. Almost. Almost.
Splashed me right in the face. He did it on purpose too.
That's the last time he's gonna do that. There he is. He hoovered that thing.
Oh yeah.
He ate it good.
Oh yeah.
He liked the spin fish.
He did like to spin fish.
Fun. The Chinook got shoulders, that's for sure.
That thing splashed you in the face. You got kind of serious, Buzz. You're like, okay. All right, Mr. Salmon. Here he comes, right there, right
Going
there.
the wrong way. Come on,
my
fish.
God.
Attaboy, Magnum!
Good work, buddy. Great job.
That's a
Yay.
dandy.
Yeah.
Good job, little buddy.
There we go.
All that.
I got the sinker.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a better
Oh,
salmon.
shoot.
There
That's
we go.
nice. God.
Yeah, buddy.
He's
Way
big, he's
bigger.
big. He's big.
God.
Big.
Welcome
Oh, man,
aboard,
that's big,
Mr.
big.
Fish.
Yeah.
Dandy, buddy.
God.
Oh, yeah.
How?
All these years and you still treat him that nice by hooking him fish like
Yeah. Well, he's a little handicapped
Man, that's
today.
a dandy there, buddy.
Oh wow.
that. I'll take that.
Okay.
If you want to take that. I'll watch the hooks on that side. There you go. That'll probably be better.
Yeah. Now that's an upriver bright going to the last free-flowing stretch of the Columbia River. That's where they come from. Yeah. Nice.
Welcome back to the Columbia River. I'm Justin Wolf. We're deploying spinners and spinfish for fall Chinook. We do have more fish to catch, but first, here's some advice on stuffing spinfish with scented tuna.
Just going to show you a little recipe what we're using for our tuna today. There's lots of different ways to do it. Everybody has their own favorite mixture, and this is just kind of what I generally do, a little bit of what Shane does, and so use it for what it's worth, and hopefully it helps you. So what I use a lot is chicken of the sea, tuna in oil. Right here, you can see Chunk Light says tuna in oil. It doesn't have to be tuna in oil. I do find the chicken of the sea is the best. You can use tuna in water, dump the water, put some vegetable oil or some other oil scents in there, and kind of let it soak that up. Now that you've got that done, what I do is I take my tuna and I open my can, and I generally put it in this big container here. So we'll just get that out of there, okay? Just like that. And the first thing I put in is this ProCure krill powder. Krill is something that all the fish love. It's very simple. You just add, I don't think you can add too much, but I sprinkle a little bit in there and call that good. And that also helps it mix it up from like a slurry, makes it more of a paste, which stays in your baits a little bit better and I think holds and produces the scent longer. And then I add some rock salt or some sea salt. I've become really fond of the ProCure rock salt myself. I don't know why, rock salt's rock salt, but it seems this ProCure salt has kind of gotten underneath my wing, and I kind of just have really adapted to it. And so I just throw a little bit of that in there. And usually I'm letting my tuna sit in my fridge or that morning, in the cooler for a little bit. And then that's kind of my basic base, right? And so I'll take that, and I'll generally have gloves on or whatever, spoon, and I'll mix that all up, right? And that's my base. So I kind of got a base now that I know is not heavily scented, just kind of a natural scent. And then I'll take a spoon or something, or my fingers with gloves, and I'll put a little bit in another container, and I'll put some in another container. And that's where I kind of mix up my three to figure out what I want. And so now I've got my base, and then I'll take some, generally shrimp creel is one I've been using a lot of. Okay, the Annis Bloody Tuna is always a go-to, or just your straight Bloody Tuna Super Gel.
Can you reel that in for me, bud?
So Hunter got himself a fish on Maggie's rod. We said that Maggie's rod was a hot one, 33 feet. That's a silver chartreuse side scale spinfish. That one's been hot this morning by far. It's gotten 4 of our 6 bites, and landed, I think 3 of the fish in the boat, or 2 of the fish in the boat. So we're gonna let Hunter fight this little fish. Hopefully it's a good one for the little feller. He's pretty quiet, so you
size.
can get it to talk. What do you think, son?
It's a good sized fish.
Yeah, it's put a little work on it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are you going to thank Maggie?
I was going to.
You probably should.
Here, I'll get back
Thank
to
you, Maggie. Yeah,
Yeah, so we didn't quite get all the rods back out, and here we go. We got another one on. That spinfish is going this morning.
there you go. That's a good sound to wake up to, son, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be in class or something right now?
Class doesn't start till 9.
Education's important, but this is more important to her.
This is fishing school.
Fishing School 101, Magnum. Fishing Class 101 with Shane Magnum starts at 6 o'clock, ends promptly at 8. Good bite going on though. As you can see, there's a fish on right here. There's one on above us. We've got a fish on. So the fish are definitely moving through. Shane's been starting to see them on the grass come up and lift up. Hunter's working this one in here right now. Got God, hope he's not bigger than mine. I don't want to have to hear him talk trash all day.
Nice and easy, buddy. Nice and easy. No hurry.
Good job, bud. There you go, son. Direct him right in the net.
Nice. Here he comes. Oh, come on out, back out here, Mr. Salmon. Come on back out here, Mr. Salmon. There you go.
And scoop. Good job, son. Good job, Shane.
All right, all
Good
right.
job, boys. Man, Hunter, you're a lucky little guy. Or Maggie's really lucky. I guess we're lucky that Maggie lets us share a rod.
Yeah. There's another nice fish.
That's a dandy. Yep, you got a bigger one than I did.
Nice fish.
It's a nice fish. Kids usually pretty used to catching fish. Yeah.
I could have told you this. Told you. So there's a spinfish on here. The double trouble spinfish is on here. And actually, this is the one that I've been doing really well on bigger fish over this last week. It's the chartreuse chrome middle, chartreuse head and tail. Pretty common color in this world.
You know what I found that's really common today, Shane, is the fact that wherever Maggie sits, the rod goes off.
Yeah, no, that works pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch sides over here, buddy. I get to play fish. This is unusual for me.
Well, spinfish fish.
I got one.
Got one. So that's 5 fish, and we're done. It's 8:05. I had a bet with Justin. I lost by 5 minutes. Hamley got us by 5 minutes. But, you know, we kind of did a little funny test right there. We were kind of wondering if it was just Maggie that was lucky or not. And sure enough, her rod went off. We switched the lures. It was still her rod that went off. Great morning down here below Bonneville. You know, 7 takedowns, 5 fish in the box. 8:15. About time to go get some breakfast, wrap it up, and enjoy the rest of our day with some fresh salmon.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You know, without the support of the sponsors, there would be no show. So please thank them when you can. Now, get out there and do some great fishing.